Welcome to the Vexxed Uncensored podcast hosted by me, Saint, and Moe Vader. You'll be listening to us dive into taboo topics, celebrity news, discussing what's got us so vexed this week. Listen to us on iHeartRadio, Spotify, Anchor, wherever you listen to your favourite podcasts. Now let's get into the show.
Vexxed Uncensored presents Saint Remastered. The album features 11 Dolby restored tracks, written from 2011 to 2021 by Saint. It boasts an R&B pop sound with multi-octave vocals. Listen everywhere now. We was on a roll, but it seems that this should be the take that...
Let's hope it sticks.
Indeed. So, fuckers at home. Welcome back to Vexxed Uncensored with me, Moe Vader.
And me, Saint.
And we would like to welcome you to the podcast.
Yeah, should we do a recap of our weekends? We kind of was chit-chatting about that.
I tell you what, my weekend's recap's going to be part of my Vexed segment. It's not like actually vexed about it because,
okay.
You know, get to enjoy, but an observation.
Now for the hottest topics.
I do believe we had already started. The first topic we pulled was Sinéad O'Connors.
Sinéad O'Connors.
Yes, the Muslim sister has passed away.
May she rest in peace.
May she rest in peace.
Yeah, we were saying, would any young people under 25, 30 is a bit of a reach. Anyone under 25, did you know who Sinéad O'Connors was?
Simply put, no.
You not forget about certain people, but they're kind of like going to, I think she had like a documentary a couple of years ago, but she's like an old school legend. So she was only 58, I want to say.
Oh.
Yeah, so young.
Oh, wow.
So when she was doing like Nothing Compares to You and all these songs, she was the Irish singer known for like her androgynous look and her voice like an angel. But her personality was wild.
Volatile.
Yeah, like she infamously ripped the picture of, can't remember which, probably John Paul or something, in the 90s, ripped his picture up on Saturday Night Live. And she got banned and the media blacklisted her because she was saying like kids are getting fiddled in a Catholic church and she was Catholic. So, mate, she was played up in my house. Her albums were played up in my house. She was a big deal.
Okay.
But yeah.
I'd be telling lies if I said my mama was playing Sinéad O'Connors in that.
She didn't have the fiddly feel going on the radio now.
It might have slipped past if maybe what Top of the Pops was on or something was on terrestrial TV and it was playing. Or the radio.
Yeah.
If I vaguely ever remember whenever the radio was on.
Yeah.
But I knew Sinéad O'Connors. I remember her.
Yeah, man, big deal. But the thing is, people give her such shit for being alive and having a voice and like speaking up to power. But now, like, she's dead, mate. When I tell you, like, every day they're doing, like, they're still doing. She died last week now, so they're still doing like news platforms every single day, big segments about Sinéad O'Connors, and because she had a lot to go into. She had such a like unique life. Kind of like a Prince or Michael Jackson. Like she was, Whitney and Mariah were at their tops and shit. She was like over here running in the same circle. She was on that level, but she weren't the polished, clean.
Very Irish, very Irish.
Very Irish, you know. So yeah, it's a shame. I don't know how she passed, but I'm gonna leave that in God's hands.
Okay, so be it. So let's see what have I got here then. San Francisco's going to shit.
Yeah.
It was expected though.
Do you think?
Yeah. In the words of the conservative right, whenever there is these, you know, these alphabets and all of these sorts of things going on, all this sordid affairs.
Oh my God.
A cesspool of liberalism. There you go. You
blame the gays. Let's just blame the gays, shall we?
You play what's the saying again? You play stupid games and you win stupid prizes.
To my understanding, it was the gays that were keeping it clean and like, you know, because they were all like, I'm not going to be stereotypical here, but
in appearance, they
like opening flower shops and, you know, bakeries and, you know what I mean, like making a little, like keeping it up. So and then pouring their money, because you got to remember, gay people, lesbians, they don't usually have kids, so they got expendable money, man. They're buying their houses and stuff when they do get a good job and all of that.
We've just got breaking news into the studio, and that is a gross, prejudicial stereotype.
Yes.
The
very old world.
The members of that community invest greatly into other children, their own children's adoptions. And,
well, of course, yeah.
These new systems.
The statistics got to be way low though.
But
on
they
the
have
other side. So.
They have the donors, don't they?
These days, yeah, it costs money though. That's like 17 grand a round and stuff to like IVF a woman up and surrogacy.
See, call it my ignorance, right? But I just assumed that there was a slice of society where, for example, a lesbian couple have a child with a gay couple, and then they knock out a couple of kids and they split them up. Or
see, I've never heard of that happening, so I'm not going to say who, but I knew a lesbian couple, and they were like, they've always had their eyes open for sperm donors.
Really?
Yeah, and I was asked maybe because of my genes.
Stallion.
They would have been good parents at some point, but like, that's just like I can't have a child attached and give it like that's just strange. So for me, anyway. Fair enough.
That's a valid point. That is true.
I wasn't offended or nothing.
When shit gets hard, you can always ask for money.
Ain't gonna be blades on that birth certificate, does it? Hell to the no. But I know that Twitter, formerly known as Twitter, X.
Mm-hmm.
X.
I'm not surprised they renamed it X. Like 98% of Twitter is porn.
Ooh. Revenues is all about revenues, isn't it? Like, he's all about them numbers.
I mean, at the risk of dobbing myself out, my feed.
It's just porn. See, I ain't got none on my feed. It was like when I first went on, you see everything, but once it gets used to what you look at, it like thins it out. I've noticed, so I don't get any sneak madness on my stream thing no more.
Okay. Yeah. Me, I get some top quality material, top quality research materials. I'm telling you, absolutely love it. They do.
But they were pushing. I think Twitter people were just saying they like all the companies are leaving San Francisco because it's like homelessness is rife, drug addiction, alcoholism, everything you can think of. It's just apparently parts of it is just like hell. So, they were like, why don't you move Twitter out of San Francisco? And he's like, wrote this whole long, like, poem-esque thing talking about, we're not going to abandon you. Oh. Like, doing the same old fucking ride the coattails of any catastrophe that's beholding the people, do you know what I mean? Stuck a big giant light up on the building and, like, the skyscrapers opposite just are ready to strangle him because he's ruined their whole everything.
In all fairness, if the big companies leave...
Sorry, guys. That was a coffee slurp.
If the big companies leave, that means that exclusivity to the labour pool is going to skyrocket.
Yeah, maybe you could test some new Tesla shit on the roads. Maybe like... X
can start hiring all the best components of all the other companies that are closing down and leaving. Yeah. You still want to remain.
Clean up shop. Yeah.
It'll be like Ford to Detroit.
Yeah, I was just thinking of Detroit and how that went to pot. Then Chicago.
Mm-hmm.
Where else? Oakland. Oakland are like... I stopped a video just in time. Where was it? Let's give the blame. Where was it? Twitter? I think. And it was like some guy going, yo, guys, you want to see a dead body? And it was like a car burning in the street. And like everyone's like, and I'm like, what the fuck is going on? Do you know what I mean? And I cut the video because I'm like, you ain't about to show me no dead burning body now. On Twitter, like
that's insensitive, fellas. Let's not do that.
That's like a joke. So
do that.
It's getting crazy around here. Not around here, but across the ocean. Next topic: Bad Boys, Texas.
Orlando Brown, the gift that keeps on giving.
I can't even believe this story.
So what caught my eye, and I think this is the first season might be finished or might be coming close to finish.
Wait, there's already a Bad Boys Texas?
Yes, there is. This isn't new.
I thought that people were just like talking about it for years. They've always done the girls fighting and stuff, bad girls, but they've never done a boys show, reality show.
And I was quite perplexed by the name of it because isn't Bad Girls like Bad Girls Club? They're strippers. They go around touring and the best stripper makes the most money on most nights.
No, not when I watched it. It was like from different cities, whoever's like popular, the girls who were popular, and whether they were like owned a business or were like strippers or whatever, influencers, I guess, back then, and like to fight. So they thought they were the baddest girls in our state.
Yeah.
So they would get them all together, put them in a house like Big Brother or whatever. They got to do what they want to go clubbing every night, kind of like Jersey Shore, but it was known it was Bad Girls Club. If you're not about that business, you're not willing to throw hands, like you're fucked basically.
Okay.
You know what I mean? They used to gang up on each other. Just bitches. It was mad. Like it used to come on MTV, I think, back in the day, and it was like quite raw. So Bad Boys. I thought they never did these with the guys because of murders.
I thought the same thing, but listen, I'm gonna have to update because I found a whole the first episode for free on YouTube.
Zeus, is it in the Zeus network?
Yeah.
Because they, I think. Oh, come on, brain. So there was a network beginning with an O that used to air it, Bad Girls, and then they stopped. And then obviously Zeus did like, they didn't call it Bad Girls Club, they call it Baddies ATL, Baddies Los Angeles.
Yeah.
So obviously because the Oracle, that's it, or something like that, didn't do Bad Boys when they got the chance, the name was probably up for grabs.
Okay.
So Zeus is like, yoink.
So I'm seeing this is they've put a bit of a spin on it. You remember that guy, Where the Money Resides?
Yeah.
Yeah, he's in Bad Boys LA.
Oh Lord.
And he's wow.
Who should they put in there?
Wow, hold on a minute.
Stevie J is too good for that. Like he's too famous for that.
Oh, you can't put Stevie in Bad Boys.
Yeah, that's lowbrow. Bad Boys is lowbrow. Trying to think of like Scrappy or something.
Okay, there's a in this.
Transgenders.
It's a man to a woman.
Wait. So there's Bad Boys Club, and one of the people in it is a male to female transition. She should be with the girls.
Oh,
yeah. Because when Zeus did Baddies,
yeah,
Sydney Star was in that fighting the girls.
Really?
Not fighting, but like one girl tried to drag her up. Oh no, that's a gay man. That's just a gay man.
No, the one that was in blue.
Yeah, like drag queen. Do you know what I mean?
Oh my god.
That's just a drag queen.
Oh my god.
That's a man. He identifies as a man. That's just a gay man drag queen. That's not a trans person.
You sure?
Yeah, because they'd have to put, if it was male to female, she would be in Baddies. Or female to male, then Bad Boys. But that's just a gay man who drag queens it. Yeah, drag queen. So, cause he can still fight the men, like, so he's still a man. Thinks of himself as a man. He's just gay drag queen. Most drag queen will, not now, but they were straight, majority of them.
Isn't that the strip club and doing strip club stuff?
Yep. Didn't I tell you about that lesbian, no, what was it? That handsome woman and... handsome woman and that really effeminate gay guy, and they were in love and having schnooky schnoo and all this thing. So
yeah, I don't want to dig.
But yeah, Orlando Brown, you said is coming into it, innit?
Yeah. So one of the trailers that I caught was they're getting him out of jail. They bailed him out. To be
oh my word! America is just something else. How's that legal? He ain't clean. Yeah. Oh, because jail, I guess. He'll probably relapse on the show. They're probably counting on it.
They're betting on it. The views will skyrocket. Okay, so next topic is Plies versus Britney Spears.
He's been drooling over Britney.
Yeah, he's trying to get his busset baby.
He says he loves the way her when she be doing them spinning dances and stuff, how her jaws be hanging down like she ain't pulled them up properly. Like he's digging like the real Britney, like the ball raised up in Louisiana. You know, white tragish Britney, that version, the real Britney. He's digging it hard. Like every week he's doing something new. Like, look at this guy. Oh my god, she's motherfucking beautiful.
Swamp treasure.
Swamp treasure.
He's trying to get that swamp treasure.
The Cajun. Cajun spice. That vanilla spice right there. But a book's coming out, so this slap ain't done nothing too bad to good old Brit. Oh, did you hear that Will.I.am song?
I have not.
It come on in the radio in the cab, and it was like, I was like, hold on. They're like, yep, so this is the brand new Britney Will.I.am, and then it comes on, and it's Britney, but I'm like, is that Britney, or is that a robot? Is that Britney, or is that A.I Britney?
Ooh.
And then I looked it up, and everyone's like, no, he's just done an interview saying it was done a couple of years ago. He's not confirmed it, but gave that vibe. The single cover is like clearly old photos and stuff. And then someone's come out and said that Will.I.am scouted a lookalike and said, will you come for the video shoot and we're gonna like do some digital work on your face and you'll be Britney.
Oh wow.
And she said, but does Britney know about this? And they wouldn't give her a straight answer, so she was like, I'm gonna skip. They wanted her in like a yellow bikini and all of this for this video, for this song, because the video is meant to be coming out. But she's not said she ain't putting out music. She's just said like, don't expect me anywhere to do any work. And I think her book's on pre-order now, and it's an old cover from like the 90s. So she clearly ain't doing no new photo shoot. Like, you know what I mean? She's just writing her book, saying yes to Will.I.am, yes, Elton John, and just like, you know, probably making a bit of dough.
I see. You're absolutely right. I'm looking at it, and to be fair with you, Will.I.am's picture.
Does that look modern? Like,
that's not.
I can't remember. I've only seen it once.
That's not Will.I.am.
See?
Today, anyway.
She's like rapping on it, kind of, but it just sounds a bit robotic.
Will you be able to mute this out whilst I play it?
Like, have they just auto-tuned that, or is that fake Britney?
Not only is that auto-tuned, they've done one of the beautiful tricks of post-production where they've synced AI, her voice, and polished it all up to sound together. I'm hearing.
So would we consider this? Should her fans be pissed? Should they feel cheated?
Yes, very likely to be enhanced Britney Spears' voice and not, I guess, Britney Spears' original.
It's a good example for the coming times, and everyone's talking about what should we do about all this. Well, she's clearly given the green light.
Well, trick thing is that if the green light was given while she was still under and it's been released after which,
like if a conservatorship said 2 years ago,
had that right to sign off on it, and that just might not be worth it.
That's crazy. Do you know what I'm thinking they're going to do in music now? Don't want to wish this into existence, but with the Hollywood strike and all that, so they've gotten to the bottom of it, and a lot of people confirmed what they wanted a lot of them to do on these new projects is coming for one day, get paid for that one day, film, scan the face, do everything, and everything's post-production, the whole series.
Really?
Yeah. And then they were already doing the AI extras that no one liked, and they were just like, wow, you're cutting all these like what they call journeyman actors who are in everything, but you don't know the names because they're not on the cover of magazines. They're not doing interviews. They're just actors.
Okay.
Paying their mortgages, doing what? Working CSI. Do you get me? Like, so
it's dark times we live in.
Yeah.
Dark times. Most of the main manufacturers are leaving China and leaving that whole sphere of industry for swamp treasure elsewhere, I guess. Yeah. But that's going on to a whole nother. Because
what if they tell musicians who are signed currently, like, okay, well, we've got to deal with you. You've got a debt with us. We signed you for 4 albums. You've done 2. Come in, train the AI for your voice. We'll have all the writers and producers do everything like they did, like the fake Michael Jackson shit. And then we'll see you at promotion time. But afterwards, you got to let us continue to, they'll work something out.
Of course.
That's what I fear. Not that, I mean, I don't care. I care for others. I'm just not too bothered about myself these days in these situations like that. So, yeah.
Frankly, it's the natural progression of the industry to keep and maintain control of how an artist is marketed.
Yeah.
You've got to keep control of the product.
Yeah.
And I guess on one hand, it's great that artists, as long as they can sell and their product is good, the labels should keep their hands off them. But any artist that is signed under the agreement that their persona to the public is going to be shaped and managed by the label, then you can kiss goodbye to. It'll be like Avril Lavigne going in as an emo skater girl and turning into
the pop, whatever she is,
pop rock, whatever.
Or Pink, who when she was R&B, I was listening to like her first album the other day, and I was like, it was when she was black, guys, because her name's Alicia and she looks black, she looks mixed, so people thought that she's not.
Alicia Moore. I remember her full name because
Listen, everyone, nobody. It was like a Rita Ora type situation. You know what I mean? And then after that album, she left whatever LA Reid's label and she went rock pop. She ain't look back. But for oh my days, like what? Two things haven't go when they go so well together. One album, like, but it's so good though.
It's true.
Youngins go. What's it called? Can't Take Me Home. Go play that album. We kind of talked about. Oh no, was that the last take or is this Twitter? Did we talk about Twitter? This.
We spoke about Twitter, but we spoke about Chicago going to shit.
San Francisco.
San Francisco.
Yeah.
San Francisco going to shit and.
Yeah, and you said, X porn and all that.
Yeah.
Oh, we left out the monetization scheme. So if you got 50 million impressions on Twitter so far, you can like earn money per tweet. They'll just pay you. They're sharing the revenue with you got to be verified.
You've
obviously.
got to be verified.
Yeah, so.
I was looking at verifying my account and I thought,
What's annoying is, every time you make a change in your bio or you want to update the picture, they re-verify you.
Oh, right.
The first time they had to re-verify me, it took a week. Then the second time it took 2 days.
It's a reflection of the work rate at the sweatshop.
Yeah. And then Instagram's verified too now, so yeah.
Okay.
I don't know if it's changed anything, to be honest. I don't know.
I mean, sliding some DMs.
Oh, okay. You go to the top of all the comments. Yeah, I ain't really fucking paid attention, man.
To be fair with you, there isn't much to say on that. We should have just slapped them both together. Elon Musk remains an international troll.
Yep, and criminal. International mastermind.
Speaking of trolls, Nicki Minaj was swatted this week.
Yes, Nicki Minaj.
You see, unfortunately, when you harbour criminals...
Predators.
When you harbour criminals and predators, you will fall victim to the trolls.
Nuts, innit? I wonder what she sees in him.
Did he ever get around to reporting himself and registering?
Not that I heard of. It would have been world news, so I think he's just avoided whatever place he was.
Isn't that 2 years? Hasn't it been 2-3 years since we spoke about this?
Yeah. Her lawyers can probably hold a lot up.
I'ma tie this shit up in litigation.
I'm above the law.
Oh, wow. Well done. Well done.
Firearms and child abuse are possibly alleged, reasons for swatting her. Someone made a prank, allegedly. That's what they're saying. It was a prank, so.
It was a prank.
Yeah.
Do you know what? Outside of the inconvenience...
Sounds pretty accurate to me, I mean.
No. Yeah. Outside of the risk of getting shot and killed.
Send them shooters, them shooters get flued out to London town.
Do you know how much of a skill it is to hoax security services into getting a whole SWAT team prepared together to go and raid?
I know.
You can hardly get police officers to show up.
Innit? Give them something to do.
Yeah. And what do you have to say? Like the severity of the allegation. You
say, tell them there's a lot of drugs in there, because they want to obviously take that and then resell it on the black market. They love doing that.
As you
do. Or just sniff it. What else? Oh yeah, obviously child abuse. Guns, illegal guns. They love that. They'll come straight out for that.
There's got to be a trigger in there.
Hacking.
Oh, hacking, yeah.
Yeah.
Well done to Nicki Minaj. She made it into 2 shows in a row.
Well, she's the Barbie queen, innit? Barbie came out, so.
Really?
She's the Barbie queen. She did the Ice Spice Barbie remix or something. Everyone's using it on their Instagram. Okay. And I'm like, kill me. Like, where's the Action Man film? With Dr. X and shit. Like, where the fuck is that shit? Where's the Max Steel and shit? Like, where is that?
That's not what gets the people going.
Listen.
That is.
But yeah, all the women in the world wearing pink. And I'm like, wow, indoctrination.
Yeah.
They all played with Barbies. So they all, got their self-identity from, a doll.
You know what's ironic? Cancer Research UK does wear pink T-shirts as fundraisers.
Yeah.
Imagine if the Barbie movies gotten more people to wear pink than Cancer Research has.
I'd say so.
100%. That's disheartening.
Cities were lighting up their, buildings pink. And I don't know if Mattel's paid them to do that, most likely, and just tried to play like it's authentic. What else? The Bio's really shocked agency. So when you see the 3D billboards.
Yeah.
Some of them are not real. So this one wasn't a hoax. It was like an agency's gone and like took a video of the Burj Khalifa.
Yeah.
And then there's the like giant Barbie box next to it, and she comes out and she's stepping out, and it looks like 3D, but it's like generated. It's just very good. And I'm like, how ironic. There's a film about a world of Barbie dolls, and the Kens are just like side pieces, assistants, like they're just useless. All men are dumb. In this Barbie world, and at one point Ken like gets it when he's in the normal world, learns that this world's men-centric, and sees that it's ran by men.
Oh shit!
So he's like cool walking down the street, like, what's going on? And he's like, oh, I'm the king here. So he takes her back to Barbie world, and like she comes back and it's like bitches and like beer and like just yeah. So that's so for that to be an ad in Dubai. Where they mush their women in the face. You don't wash this?
The police of vice and virtue.
Yeah. You know, one hijab crooked, they chop your hands off. Right.
Oh dear.
Next topitico. UFO Congress disclosure.
Yes. So it looks like the US government cannot confirm or deny that there are UFOs, UPAs, is it UPAs they call it?
Unidentified aerial phenomena, UAP.
UAP.
That's
right.
the new reference. The PC reference.
The PC reference, I see. I see, okay. So yeah, they can't confirm or deny it, but 20%, is it 20% of Americans?
83%.
83%?
Because if you look at a map of all the sightings in the world in history, and it's in lights, represented by lights, America is a Christmas tree.
I see.
Yeah, and England.
Oh dear.
Well, the whole UK. Like a Christmas tree. So I guess that means they've seen them all. You know. But they're saying, what was the percentage that report it? 10%? Between 5 and 10% who actually speak about it and stuff.
Have you ever seen the UFO?
Yeah.
Oh.
It's not as fun as people be making it out. It's not. It's not. I experienced when I was younger, and I was like, listen.
Waking up in a cold field, 63 miles away from home. Like,
and when your parents are telling you, you're sleepwalking, walking downstairs and being found in the kitchen with pots and pans and like you're about to cook something at like 6 years old. Just like, oh, girl. But no, like, yeah, for sure. I've got better videos.
Have you?
Just randomly, I always see weird shit. But I just think it's people, I pay attention to like the sky. I think, personally. And other people have been there with me at times. You know, proper blatant shit.
I just repress abnormalities.
Yeah, you have to. 100%. Like, what the fuck is, what?
Yeah, it's true. It's true. You just gotta, nope.
But it was two military pilots.
Yeah.
And one very high clearance intelligence officer. And I think there was like Congress people are saying they have never ever been presented with this kind of level of evidence. Like everything that these people are saying in the media is like, I think News Nation is a big one in America, and they did it with David Grush, who's the intelligence officer. He blatantly said they've got like craft, they've got beings, they've got dead beings, he did like a 10-minute interview saying like mad shit that everyone else gets called conspiracy theories for, but he can't be discounted. So the media in those days have tried to discount him. Yeah. Instead, they've gotten confirmation. So it's taken a while, and like people had to fight. Congress had to fight to get this hearing, and 3 members of Congress, and it's all bipartisan, never happens. 3 members took themselves to, I think, Fort Ellis base to investigate a notification that one of them got to the offices about an event during a training thing a couple of days before. They went down there and they got blocked. This is Congress, who makes all the laws for the country, and like they're the people, they represent the people in all the states. They're America.
But they're not shadow America.
Right, and they're all playing like completely naive, or I thought they were, but when you watch it, they are genuinely all interested, asking very serious questions. Has anyone been murdered for talking about this stuff? He's like, I will tell you in a skiff, and the skiff is a vault. Okay. So this guy's had the highest clearance, but because these people in Congress are not as high cleared, and before he's gone to this meeting, disclosure in Congress, he's had to brief in his job all the like lettered organizations that require him to do that before they take these steps.
Yeah.
So he's had to like give information, brief 11-hour briefings, really sensitive shit, then go to Congress. But now he's in Congress, he's saying they are telling me they have to process what I've told them before I tell you, because saying it in public is national security risk.
Oh.
So he was able to say a lot, I think, in the hearing, but he was saying, I can tell you all of this regardless of your clearances in a SCIF, which is a vault, like it's literally created to be completely, what would you call it, a vacuum? Nobody can hear, no spotlight. It's just not possible to, in any way. So he's saying if we're in there, but they got denied. The Congress got denied access to a SCIF for that meeting. Then when these 3 people went down, the military general or commander for that base said, no, it's been called off. You're not seeing anything. They were supposed to speak to witnesses, see videos, see images, and they got blocked by the intelligence community. And even they're like, whoever they are.
Well, intelligence community is obviously the
CIA, like
CIA,
but
FBI,
there's more.
Homeland Security.
Yeah, NSA.
The Pentagon.
Now they're the ones, he's saying, they're the fucking ones who are basically covering this shit. Like, they're the ones throughout history and still now, they're the fucking ones. So the Pentagon obviously blocked them. They had this argument, Congress people at this base with this guy. Finally, they've let them talk to one person and see images. And they said what we saw the other day, that we can't explain. The witness said like a big triangle, like a fleet of them in a diamond shape came in a training, like F1 jets and fuck, like this the other week.
So here's an ethical question, a philosophical question. If UFOs, UAPs are valid and have been happening and are a regular occurrence, where does this place all of the world's religions and the people that stick to a religion or moral code?
Yeah, that's been a part of, I think, their excuses. So Congress were asking them, why do you think they're not briefing us, not briefing you, that it's not to be shared? Why do you think they're doing that? And they're like, because of obviously like Pentagon, I think they said 8 billion they lost this year. Like they just account losses every year, and it's billions and billions because they're funneling them into private companies who are doing, like NGOs who are doing the work for the government, handling all this shit off the books, like so much money. And obviously that's an issue. If that gets exposed, that's a big deal. He said if there's any technologies that they've got using, then that's a big deal. That's an issue because it means all the coal, all the this, all the that has been pointless. What else? National security. So they were also asking him, is this national security what you've all experienced? And they're like, yeah, we can't do nothing to defend ourselves. Like, we can't even get ducked to them. They're like bopping around us, like teleporting. They're like doing crazy shit. So
yeah, it's a problem.
Yeah. Trying to think of what religions, I can't say I know all the religions involved, but I'm trying to think of what religions would affect them at all. Because first of all, I'm not religious. I just want to say that. Yeah. I just feel like I've been building like a relationship with God. I feel like, you know what I mean? That's my faith in Jesus, 100%. And as far as I'm concerned, read the Book of Enoch, it explains it all. It's the only one that does, to be honest. Yeah, I mean, I can't think of the Quran speaking about like angels and their vehicles or how they get around or where technology comes from or that God made everything. So even if a man made this computer, all these mics, God gave them the inspiration to do it, because how would they have come up with that in themselves? It's not possible for them to. It's like being a civilization and finding gold like however many miles underneath you, mining that shit. Who told you that was there? How did you know that was there? And I think all the religions have like stories of things coming from the sky and all that shit. So I think it's like more of an explanation than a hindrance.
So the next topic is Tuken, LOL. So it's
Tuken, what's that?
Is that lady that recently was Tuken?
Oh my lord! Oh,
looks like the police department is pressing charges.
Yeah, I did see that briefly.
Yeah.
Did you see the picture?
I did.
She looks like a psycho.
I saw the videos of her drunk and disorderly, in a flat as well. Apparently, she was quite known to her social circles for getting on the juice and losing her rag.
Shit, that wasn't the story they were saying when she was missing.
No.
She said she was everyone's babysitter, and yeah, I saw hordes of people praying for her in the street, and that was like, wow.
Mm-hmm. Sociopath.
Yeah, like I saw the picture, and I saw a statement as well, her saying that like she's praying, she asking for forgiveness and prayers. And I'm like, you're a sociopath. Like, you cannot be calling. Don't bring God into this. Do not bring God into this. Like, he does not approve.
She knows the game plan. I reckon it'll work.
Yeah.
When she does her little, she might do maybe a year and a half.
Yeah.
Just a bit of light time. Maybe 3 years. She'll come out.
Do you think she has to pay back the money, like the services, the fire, whatever, the search and rescue, the police,
Probably not.
Because America be charging for everything. Breathing.
That they do, but probably not. That will just be packaged as part of her prison sentence.
You know, if you go to America, yeah, say you're British, and go to America, and you go with travel insurance, does that mean like them lot, when they do anything, they got to pay it up front unless they got insurance? Would ours cover it?
Do you know what?
Like a gun shop.
Always check the small
It's
print.
a big concern, isn't it? Like, you go over there with the, like, you don't know what you're stepping into.
That's actually one of my deterrents to not go there. I genuinely do have a bit of a fear of going to the US because the gun crime, or how the gun crime is portrayed in the media here.
I know, man.
And around the world.
And I was this summer, this close, literally, like, when I tell you, I was literally telling myself, give myself, like, you got to think about something. So I give myself, like, I'll see how you feel in a few hours, but I was going to press the button on LA, and that was like 6 weeks ago or something, longer than that, probably 2 months ago. And it was really good. Everything was like on point. And I was like, yeah. And then I don't know, I just started seeing headlines and weird shit. So I was just kind of like,
noped out of there.
I don't know.
To be fair with
I guess
you,
that's a bit dumb, but
it's more that I'm going to be the victim of being a passerby.
They'll be doing drive-bys and shit out there.
Yeah.
Like,
unless I'm going to literally go to all the tourist spots or remain at a hotel on a resort, it's easy to stumble across some community issues being played out.
Go to the beach, innit? Like,
yeah,
you're bound to see something crazy.
Of course. And it's that
kind of fun though. Kind of fun. It's kind of like being in GTA or something. Kind of fun.
Going out to Miami Beach.
Yeah.
No, it would be fun. It would be fun, but
I won't rule it out. Do you know what I mean?
I might have to see if I can age a little bit more to be in.
If I could do an American accent, I'd definitely go. Like, I'd be more persuaded to go and pretend to be one. Just from some far state.
From the deep south.
Yeah, that accent's easier to do. Like a straight American accent, can't really do that.
Yeah.
But yeah, that southern one, that's, yeah.
Swamp treasure.
Swamp treasure. Disney.
Oh, shit.
And their schemes.
You might remember the clip a bit better than I did. I could only sit for it the one time.
Do you know what? I am so, like, I disassociate this kind of, right? And I just want to preface, right? Me personally, like I said, I really don't care. Like, I know the world is going, like, the gender wars now because there's an amalgamation of confusion just between each other and what's when, who, where, how, right?
Mm-hmm.
I have no personal convictions regarding any of it. Like, I'm not bothered.
Yeah.
I feel like this is a modern problem, and the people back then, funnily enough, in the Roman times, whenever all this shit existed in Egypt and stuff, they weren't fighting about it. It was pretty much part of the society. Yeah. No one had the condiments. Native Americans, I mean, we can do it all if you like a bit of history, but like, I just want to preface that this isn't hate, but I was really shocked about this.
Thank you. I'm Alan Bergman. I'm the co-chair of the entertainment division at Disney, and we have a special announcement to make today. As you know, Disney is a place of magic. It's where frogs turn into princes, where orphans like Cinderella can transform into beautiful princesses. And unlike us jaded adults, the children believe in magic. And we spent 100 years cultivating a brand that has been trusted and loved by families for generations. And with that trust, we've covertly been inserting queerness into our films and television shows. First as LGBTQ background characters, and later in leading roles and plot points. and Pantene have helped pave this path, and we're proud to take the lead and bring us into the New World Order. We want to thank Governor Gavin Newsom, President Joe Biden, Assistant Health Secretary Rachel Levine, an incredible woman.
So those, not just Americans, would know who those people are. So there's a part in there where they're talking about opening Disney clinics.
Yeah.
For transitioning children.
Mm-hmm.
And you're going to get 6 months Disney Plus. This is just sick coming out of my mouth. 6 months Disney Plus subscription and tickets to Disneyland.
Incentivized.
To incentivize. It's like coming for your flu shot and you get like a £10 Amazon voucher or whatever, like that kind of thing. So this is like an official, I don't know, was this Florida?
Yeah.
Now Florida, man, that is a swamp. Now that is a swamp. I hear so many things every day about Florida, man.
Swamp meat.
But yeah, I saw a doctor doing an interview not too long ago, American, and she's a psychiatrist and she's very even-tempered, very understanding woman. And she was saying like, they teach about transgender dysphoria in like, they've always kind of learned it as doctors, but they never came across it because it's so rare.
Yeah.
It was 1% of like all cases. So it was extremely rare. And she said the jump in statistics has been in the last like 7 years or so, like 7-8 years, like a gradual thing. And she does attribute it to media and like indoctrination ultimately, because there's nothing else unless they're putting toxins in water or whatever to alter like hormones or whatever to make people feel differently or say have a dysphoria. There's no other explanation. And I always knew like transgenderism was rare, like super rare, that it was real. They really do suffer. Like there's some people that cut themselves because they can't stand being a boy or a girl, and it's not till they transition that they stop all that alleviates. Like those people really are having an experience that cannot be explained. And when they transition, it all alleviates and they end up going on having a normal life. Most of them you can't notice. They have a lot of work done. Who would put themselves through all that work, right? Cracking bones and replacing things and feminization, if they really didn't feel that way and then be happy with it. Now there's people who are detransitioning because they've done it in the last few years and they're like, what the fuck have I done? I was like lost. I don't know what. So I'm lost.
So just put a bit of context to my reaction of silence there. I'm sitting and listening to this in awe because I can't fathom. I'm like,
no, we can't.
If you put it that way, then.
But why the children though?
Yeah, wouldn't that be something that needs to be like a decision made of sound mind, of mature mind, at least, not something to do because every Tom, Dick, and Harry's got half a year free of Disney Plus and. What, they got to go to Disneyland or Disney World, whatever. Wow.
Like they're treating this as a new human freedom opposed to a very small, rare, minute of human beings who are like different or whatever. Like they're treating this as like a transhumanist option, like an upgrade or a check. Like if you just feel like it's a change.
Here's my middle ground. Let's work towards actually being cyborgs and having extra arms and legs and being able to jump or maybe even fly before we really invest down this avenue.
It's just, yeah, that's the other thing she said, that the clinics across America anyway was like in 3 places, that there were like 3 clinics nationwide. Yeah. It was a very harsh system to even be referred. And yeah, it was a big deal, and it was over 18. Like they had to. And for them people, like it is prolonging their pain or whatever. The real cases, but it has to be done. At least you know in it. They're 18, 19, man. They're like losing it. Anyway, so she said now they're on every corner. She said like
are they
all
like...
her colleagues, not all her colleagues, but it's common in the community that this is a common thing now. Like, and psychiatrists are trained on it, but like only limited because it's a rarity. Like. Yeah. Doctors and stuff, nurses, it's not prioritized because who the heck suffers from that, but a very small margin.
So does that mean that when someone presents there and says XYZ, well, XY or XX,
yeah.
Does that mean that psychiatrists and the doctors there cannot confirm or deny whether someone's actually got
They can know, and that's the thing, because they said, like, with children especially, because children don't lie, you can tell when they're imagining, daydreaming, when they're being aspirational, or versus when they're suffering. And that's the difference. And when they confirm it over and over and over and over, and they're introduced to so many different things, and they are just rejecting it. Do you know what I mean? And usually, she said, the real cases start at like 2 and 3, which is also crazy to think. So babies who don't even know, these are the rare cases. She's talking the historical ones. Yeah. Kids who don't even know how to brush their teeth yet properly know that something's not right. Like, that young. If it was a bit later, then you can put the case they've been indoctrinated. You can't indoctrinate a 2-year-old, a 3-year-old. She said nowadays more likely because of the media and the agendas the corporations seem to be like pushing, and the ratings for like Disney Plus and Amazon Plus and all this shit to be inclusive.
Yeah.
So it seems like, I feel like, again, and then you've got the real trans people arguing with the new lot who are non-binary, or again, like, it's very hard to tell. Like, you know, Caitlyn Jenner, for instance, everyone's like, she's the equivalent of a coon for a black person. She's like, people think she's transitioned for genders, and because trans people call her transphobic, because she seems to, in all her ways, hate trans people. Like, she just, they're like, you're still a Republican man, like, but you've got boobs now. So they can spot, I guess, each other.
Didn't he say that he wanted to transition back?
I don't know. But he had the SRS. He had the full-blown surgery. I remember that coming out. He had the SRS. And a lot of trans people don't get the SRS, I think, because I don't know. I can't think of that thing. I can't relate to that. But, like, yeah. One of those things. They transition up top but not down bottom. Do you know what I mean? Or, like, you know? And they're their own thing. Like, again, I guess the real ones would be able to spot the fake ones because they're them. They only that, you know?
So I've got this quote published by projectcasting.com. Caitlyn Jenner is reportedly considering transitioning back to a man, according to a Kardashian biographer, published on the 29th of September 2021.
Oh.
So
how's he going to do that?
They shave off like 6 inches of your forearm to graft.
Oh my goodness.
Graft a peen-like appendage.
Can reinvert it, kind of?
Doubt it.
Oh yeah, they do wiring, rewire it.
Yeah, because half of your urethra goes with it.
Yeah, see, I'm believing them. I think it's Caitlyn's a plant. I always thought, not to be funny, but growing up, like, I weren't very, but like, discriminatory. If you know what I mean? Kind of took people as they were, as they come. It was only later as older you kind of go, okay, blah, blah, blah. I kind of associated, because they were so rare and different, as like X-Men. Like the X-Men. Like the X-Men. Like the story of the X-Men exiled to the underground. And do you know what I mean? Because they're different and they're called mutants. And I saw a similarity anyway between storyline and real life treatment of them.
Yeah.
And then I heard someone say it and I was like, oh, maybe I'm not wrong there.
To this day, I am possibly one of the smartest dumb guys you're going to ever come across. It took me 2, maybe 3 years to realise that one of my childhood friends was a boy who lived with 2 mothers. And I couldn't wrap my head around it.
I remember this now. I know who.
Yeah, I couldn't wrap my head around it until some point in the summer holidays of year 6, I stumbled across 2 females. Well, 2 women. Let me not just say female. But, you know,
very scientific.
2 women getting into it erotically. And then the penny dropped. And I realised, aha, lesbian.
Yeah, yes.
And that.
It's an encounter, isn't it? Because it's not an everyday thing.
It's not at all. And
you know?
oddly, after the fact of realising it, I realised then I couldn't identify why people were off with them. But I noticed that there was, you know, objections to me going through.
What's that?
objections to sleepovers, objections to going and playing over there, and then seeing that even they only really spoke to specific parents and others they kept well away from.
Got you.
Then there was an instant when I was still a labourer, a bricklayer. I was approached by one on my break, and they were lingering and eventually started offering blowjobs. And as I'm out there speaking to him, thinking this can't be true, like this is too good to be true. What the hell is going on here? The whole encounter was just too strange, and in my head, the alarm bells start ringing when too many things go in your favour.
Yeah, it is a bit
at
mad.
once. It's like,
I've heard things though, like, about, listen, I see this is where we get into trouble because I've heard things like girls, like lesbian relationships, tend to break up. Like, all right, I don't know if this is a trope or not, but they say lesbians will get married in like 2 weeks.
Really?
Like, they just fall in love straight away. Like, that's how they couple up.
Okay.
Like, they just fall in love. And next thing they're living in a house together, they're living like a married, like, live, like that's what lesbians do. And then gay people are like, just fuck, what the fuck.
Yeah.
The men just want to fuck.
Yeah.
So that's allegedly, I don't know if that's not obviously everyone, is it? But like with the lesbians, I've heard, it's usually like a full gold star les who ain't had no dingling, and then like one who's had been around and whatever, and the one who's been around or whatever sometimes misses the old
Nina.
Pelvic
thruster.
Yeah. And they end up cheating on their girlfriends just for lustful purposes with men again. And because the lesbians are so smitten, like that's their nature, it's just heartbreak and problems and fighting, and that's what I heard.
Oh dear.
Yeah.
See, the grass is
observation.
The grass is not greener. But at the end of all things, it took for a colleague of mine to say, "Hey, come here." I went over there. He's like, "That's a bloke." I said, "No way."
Do you know, we should talk about this. Because Jess Hilarious has got in trouble, she was basically going for the trans people, saying like, the women, saying, you want to be us, you can't menstruate, you can't give birth.
Yeah.
So someone's gone and said, but you did a story saying you got mistaken for a trans person yourself. And Jess Hilarious is a full woman, okay? And she did an interview where she said a famous guy hit on her in the DMs, and he thought she was trans. And when she said, I'm a woman, he was totally like put off and taken aback. No more plane tickets, no, not getting flued out.
Oh, wow.
And she was offended. So someone said, right, so this proves there are very masculine women, yeah? Like, we know there's women who like are a bit big backed, and wide jawed and big handed. Yeah. And then you've got like women who are indiscernible from men.
Yeah.
Like, indiscernible, deep voice, attitude, like I don't know if this word is, we might have to bleep this word, the studs.
Yes.
The stud lesbians, the ones who put strap-ons on.
Buckaroo.
And my cousins in prison, female cousins who have been in prison, say there are lesbians in there who sleep with the strap-on the prosthetic penis. They sleep with it on, like a phantom. Again, like the transit, they're missing something. Yeah. Who does that? Like, that's not fake. That's a thing. They grow out, like, they're a bit hairier, naturally. Yeah. Like, there's ones, if she said full facial hair, like, how you got full facial hair? Oh, God. She just ain't been shaving. She's a hairy woman.
Oh, man.
It's, it's all, people forget about these all little, what about intersex people? With half and half. They were born that way.
Am I allowed to use the H word here? Hermaphrodites.
Yeah, that's the only name, I think. Intersex and hermaphrodite.
Whoa.
People forget about them.
Whoa.
And they, not all, I don't know how it all goes, but their parents have to make a choice how to raise them. Intersex hermaphrodites. Like, the doctors say, it's a boy or a girl. Like, how are you you gotta pick one. And they choose. And then later on, they might say, no, actually, I do feel more like a girl. And it's fine because they're intersex. They have both organs. Yeah. No one can discount that. So that's also a factor. Yeah.
My mind is running.
And because we haven't been exposed to these things, because they were rare, we never had to consider them.
A rarity. That was literally the last topic.
Okay, it felt like a long one.
We literally transitioned into the last topic without opening it. So
professionals.
Win-win.
Okay, yeah.
Win-win.
So should we head to an ad break?
Yes, let's go for it.
Okay, we'll be right back, guys.
Streaming now, the new audio drama and upcoming book series, Starlight. Join Fox and the crew navigate new challenges among the stars, traveling to new worlds and facing the deadly Rephem. Warping to you twice a month, featuring a range of talented voices and narrated by musician and author of the series, Saint. Listen now on Samsung, Audible, Spotify, and more. See you on board, Starlighters.
Create your craze today with brandcraze.co.uk.
Do you have an online business or social media presence? Then look no further than brandcraze.co.uk. They specialise in web design, logo making, everything you can think of, social media. Then look no further than brandcraze.co.uk. Welcome back to Vexxed Uncensored with me, Saint.
And me, Moe Vader.
And we are in...
The scandalous, the outrageous.
They took your job! They took my job! Cue the music.
It's the slanderous, the insatiable, the problematic, the honest, and downright uncensored Vexxed Moments.
So yes, we're in the favourite part of the show, where we get vexed and share some pissed off moments with you every week. Well, not every week. Let's stop lying.
When we can.
When we can. Yes.
Shall I?
Please do.
Okay, so this has in no way vexed me, but it's a little caution to the wise.
Right.
Never say never.
Ain't that a song?
Probably.
What ain't a song?
It's true. I'm enjoying myself a bit of never right now, and ooh dear.
So when you say never, do you mean like a sexual exploit that has never been agreed to before? Are you talking about a decision? Like, have you just...
anything which you may ever find yourself saying never again.
Right.
Well, just remember, if you said it,
right.
You might not want it to get tested. So, caution to the wise. Avoid using that phrase.
Never say never. I'll never do that. I'm never.
I lied. I'm gonna do it.
Have I ever said never? Have I ever said never? Yeah, of course. Yeah, like stuff like threesomes and stuff. Like, I've never been interested in stuff like that. His dad, no, that's too orgy like to me. That's too free spirit. That's too like gone with the wind. That's a bit full on for me.
No hedonism.
That's just too much. Like, first of all, the labour. Second of all, the impersonality. I'm not a polygamist, so I'm just like, what? But other than that, like, never say never. No, I mean, no, you can't really say never.
Justin Bieber.
Oh, right, okay.
I will never say never.
That was really accurate. Yeah, age, that's the thing. I guess with age, you just like, oh, God, my days. I really was like, we're so ooh when we're younger, like, oh, we're so ooh. We think we know fucking.
I've been humbled. I've been humbled. I've learned a little something. So.
Okay.
Yeah. Well, that's it for me. Story tell,
Right, mine. So mine, it's just the first one's an observation, and just because I do believe in like, I don't really know actually. So places like America, England, or whatever are mixed, so you can't really say there's a culture, but you can when it comes to like more Britain than America.
Okay.
Because all right, go certain places, and some people are a certain way, but like not everyone, because it's too blended. Where Britain, if you're British, whether you're black, brown, whatever, you come with a certain vibe, a certain interests. I don't know. You have a similarity.
Mm-hmm.
You all grew up in the same place with the same influences and stuff.
Bit of the old razzmatazz.
Yeah, different sides of the fence and stuff, but all sit in the pub and have a drink. All pick from the same nose type vibe. Yeah, I just feel like British people, the young lot are just Americanized so much. Like, I've seen the acceleration of Americanism. So like stuff like skate rinks, yeah. So back in the day, if you grew up anyway, like in South East London or whatever, we'd go to Streatham. That's where we go. But until all the shootings, like, it was too much, and then no one's taking the kids out of Streatham.
Yeah.
especially when in the ring people get shot. So we didn't really have many options and stuff like that. But in the skate rink, you just skated. It was very British, like even though it was like majority black, it was still a nice vibe and stuff. But yeah, very British in the sense of, I don't know, now you see it, they're all like the American type of skate rinks, which is kind of like you go there to be seen.
Yeah.
You're a star. You know what I mean? You got light up shoes and you're doing all the dances and you're like, you know what I mean? They're doing fucking what the two-step, the foxtrot. They're doing all sorts, line dancing. Yeah. It's all very like certain things. It's very corny for British, like to see British people do that. It's a bit cringe. Yeah. Where in America, it suits them. It's like, okay, look at it. Hey, Americans, that's their vibe. They're very loud. They're very like, we're the American people. They're very patriotic. Yeah. They are corny. Americans are corny. They get away with it. Like we said earlier, it's GTA in real life. So seeing the transfer, they're not trying to be British in any way.
Sort of with the whole drill.
But that's Chicago. They've got their own versions. To me, they don't sound nowhere near the same.
No, but a lot of New York drill rappers are working UK, like with UK drill rappers.
Like blending it now.
Yeah. And using drill beats and that were produced here over there.
That's fair, because we did it to house music and stuff. That's fair.
But that's in that particular subculture, and it isn't as prevalent as like, I can't even think of an example to show. The way that Drake would go somewhere, get the sound, bring the sound back over, or put the sound out.
Colonizer of music.
Yeah, it's not to that extent.
Yeah.
It's the subtleties.
Like over there, like British people seem very stuck up because we're not as relaxed as them.
Forget about it.
Yeah, you fucking bastards. You know what I mean? Like they can argue in a restaurant, no one's blinking an eyelid.
Yeah.
Here, it's like, oh my goodness, ghetto mess. How dare you?
Outrageous.
I'm not coming back here. Do you know what I mean? It's like, let's get out of here. The fuck? We don't like this vibe. So yeah, I don't know. I just feel like what's going on type thing. And I get it because like I've got cousins in other countries. I've got cousins, particularly I noticed in Holland, where they learn English from the TV.
Yeah.
Or from one of their parents. And then when they speak English, it's an American accent. So they transition to Dutch. It's not English in a Dutch accent. It's an American accent where the old Dutch or the older Dutch, they speak like Dutch people. Where, they've got purely American accents. That was strange. Okay. So I was like, wow, kind of crazy. So yeah, I've noticed that. And then what's my other one? I actually feel like I had a few, but yeah, I can't remember. Oh, that's right, with the alien thing, there's people who want to stir the pot and be like, oh, it's a distraction from something. It's a distraction. And I'm like, from what? So what we distracting one thing from the other. I kind of felt like that way with the submarine, because it really seemed pointless, where like this is something big and like the world's been begging for this for all time, and now we're finally like out of place. America's like took the lead. Well done. All the other countries do exactly the same. Get your decision makers together and discuss, like, get some disclosures, because some of the biggest sightings military on record is here in England.
Really?
Yeah. So like landed craft.
Oh dear.
Yeah, experience like mad shit. It's in England. So yeah, I don't know. It's not a distraction. I feel like people doing that are trying to like rock the boat, or like, what are you trying to distract us from, bitch? Do you know what I mean? Like, we're listening with open ears and hoping these people don't get murdered.
It's funny that it seems like there's a lot more control on information in the UK than in the US.
Yeah, 100%. We're fooled by tabloids and Hello Magazine and fucking Top Gear Magazine or whatever the fuck. And they're like, there's too many of them. It's too big to contain. I don't know. It's just
It would actually be a challenge to find a news story that isn't printed in another major tabloid or newspaper.
Like an original.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah, MI5 don't play, man. The Home Office and they don't play. The Ministry of Defence.
Got it on lock.
They got it on lock. Don't come for us.
This is of course
probably already on the watch list.
It's all alleged, of course.
Shout out to the relatives, not what do we call them? The scabs.
The scabs.
The scabs. Anyway, yeah, that's kind of my vibe. You know what I mean? Whatever the truth may be.
I don't want to get Epsteined.
What is there to promote? Okay, so I said 100 times. yeah. So I've been off, guys, and Starlight is just again I narrate the shit. So it kind of can't happen without me. So anyway, it's on and it's coming, and there might be some extra stuff. You'll see the notification. Just follow us on Podbean, Samsung Audible, and stuff like that, and catch up because it's gonna get juicy, guys. It's getting adventurous.
Yes. Can't wait.
Anything you want to shout out?
Nah. I've drawn a blank.
Okay.
I've drawn a blank.
Watch your space.
Have you ever wanted your own podcast, solo or with your co-host? Follow us on Instagram at Vexxed Art Brands and send us a message. We look forward to discussing your amazing ideas. You never know what could happen.